Good evening everyone and welcome to today's fun around the championship decider here at the Melbourne Grand Prix in Australia. With 5.3 kilometers, 16 turns, and 2 DRS zones, 3 DRS zones actually, there's a lot of action to look forward to. A bit of some action zone here. Turn 3 in Season 6, where Martin and Windy getting side by side through turns 3 and 4. Here, action zone again in Season 6, Don Alexi and McKinnon in turn 13, getting the move done, swooping around the outside. So today there is a lot at stake for a driver by the name of Maple. If you did watch last week's race, I did make a fool of myself congratulating Maple for having won, even though he didn't win. But hopefully today I won't make a fool of myself, because this man Maple, all he needs to do is finish in the top 10 or top 5, and he wins the championship. I could get exact numbers here, just bear with me. Okay, so in order for Dropey to win though, he needs to be P1, excuse me, he needs to be P1 with fastest lap, and actually Dropey needs to be championship if Maple finishes 5th, and Dropey has fastest lap and P1. Maple needs to be P9 if Dropey finishes P2 fast lap. So really, finish in the top 5 and he wins the championship, or top 4 to be more specific. I feel like top 4 would be an easier and safer bet, just in case if Dropey does manage to get P1 and therefore jumps him, even regardless if he finishes in 5. So we'll go on board with Maple as he'll do his lap. I believe last season Maple was competitive. I believe he did get a podium here. Not sure though. Alright, so Maple rounding up the final corner now. I want to try and get the perfect line to remain as flat out as possible. Seems like it's a pretty decent exit. Turn 1, it's a hit or a miss. Just as the board sticks out a bit, that's your turning in point, and he uses all the track perfectly there. Surprised how it was not even invalidated. Here, just after the 100 meter board, that's your braking point, down into 2nd gear. Goes a bit deep there and rides the curve. That's going to cost him at least a 10th. Let's continue with the 21.2, sorry. I'd say probably pole time will be an early 19. I wouldn't be surprised. Maple not going purple in sector 1. There must be a driver in front saying that. There is a Mercedes, I don't know who that is. Rocco with a 20.3 as a banker lap, that is a good time. Maple through the twisty sections. There's not really that many places. Phoenix is out of the run of the championship, I also should add. Down into 7th gear, sticking in 5th after the 50 meter board, and then accelerates downwards until right about halfway through these 2 boards, down to 4th. And then stick it in 4th, short shift to 6th, gear down 1 gear in 5th, ride the curb on the inside, ride as much as you can on the left, then once you're straight, really 2nd gear, short shift to 3rd, short shift to 4th, and then get the best run you possibly can. Seems to be a pretty decent run. Doesn't look like it's going to be a 19, might be a mid-20, it's a 20.4 to be exact. So good stuff for Maple. Banker lap 20.4 is pretty decent. It tells you, however, saying a 20.1 is a banker lap, which is even more incredible. Dropey now, who really has everything to do for. He needs to aim for a win this race. Nothing less, unfortunately for him. He is in the most difficult position possible. Doesn't get the best exit out of the final corner, but it looks like it's going to be this time. Looks like it's going to be a 19 actually. Comes across the line. It's a 19.6. 19.6 banker lap is absolutely crazy. So Dropey definitely showing that he is the alpha male in racing points, and that he is here to reclaim the championship. Because you know, the championship isn't that far away from him. Remember, he needs to finish P1 and fastest lap, with Maple finishing 5th or lower in order to win the championship. But really right now Maple, you know, he's been consistent in the top 5. If he were to finish this race and not crash out, obviously, I definitely see him being able to do that. Scantoni, though, is a tenth up on his previous time. See if he can improve. Seems to be a pretty solid start to the second sector. Coming through the final couple of corners now. And spins and crashes into the wall, loses his right end plate. And yeah, as I was about to say, very technical corners here, and you can lose and gain a lot of time if you mess up, and he's definitely going to want to gain some more time afterwards. Let's see if we can find anyone on the lap. R10 is on outlap. Darius, though, however, is on a hot lap. Let's see, does he go purple? He does a 48.5, goes very deep into the first one, rides the second one, though, perfectly. Let's see what his final couple corners are. Seems to be a pretty decent first technical corner, I guess. Same with here. Ooh, a bit deep, very deep there. You don't want to ride that curve on the exit, as it will lose you a crap ton of momentum. Their final corner was a decent final corner. It's not going to be a 19. Might be a late 20. It's a 20.7, and he goes up into P7. I believe Racing Point's last week confirmed that they are the Constructors' Championship, so Racing Point is the Constructors' Championship, and a Racing Point driver will be a champion at the end of this, whether it's Stropy or Maple, either or. It looks like it's going to be done and dusted for them. It looks like by the looks of things, Stropy has definitely been putting his qualifying laps this week, trying to get a lot, because overtaking around here is terrible. It is probably one of the worst tracks for overtaking. Now you might think it's not like Monaco, but if you really think about it, this straight here, overtaking in this corner, is basically a death trap. And then after this corner, you really have to hope to get a better exit with DRS, and then try and launch an attack through this corner. Otherwise, turn 1 you can overtake, but it will lose you a lot of time. And the second DRS zone, sorry, just after turn 1 is also an overtaking spot. So really, you only have 3 or 4 overtaking spots in the entire track. And R10 goes extremely wide, loses the back end as well. That's going to cost him a buttload of time. Considering he came across the final corner setting a 15, I wouldn't doubt that he would have been able to set an early 20 or even a mid 20. The Maple already out on the outlap. So is Dropey. I believe first it's going to be Maple. So we'll have to see if Maple can manage to shoot back up. Some Phoenix maybe might have some inside rivalry with Maple now. Want him to cost him a couple positions, whether it's trying to steal a podium position from him or finish in front of him. Who knows? Who knows what some of the drivers are into. It was a bit deep, and not as deep as he did last time. That's definitely going to gain him some time. Remember, he did do a few mistakes on his first lap. Let's see how much he's improving after 2 tenths. So he's already going to shoot up to P3 at least. So that is definitely what he wants. Let's see, coming through here, seems to be pretty tidy. Coming through the second sector splits, he is 3 tenths up, so he's going to shoot up to P2 just behind his teammates. Which would be a pretty intense battle, having P1 and P2 the championship battle. Going into here, seems to be a pretty neat sector so far. I believe he did do a mistake through here as well. He did go quite deep last time, and he does it again. He goes a bit deep, but not as deep as last time. Solid final corner like last time. Will it be a 19? It looks like it's going to be a 19. It comes across the line. It's a 19.8. And also, I should add that Brokel just before is also said, oh god, there's a big accident into turn 1. Hazy crashed out, and I believe that is Cinex, who has been collected. No, that is Poopy Bubbles, who's also been collected in that incident. There might have been a 5-second or 5-place grip penalty, I don't know. But currently, as things stand, championship-wise, Maple will be winning the championship. But let's see, Trophy improves by oh, he was slower that lap. So he only has 1 more shot to try and solidify his pole position. Maple still has another lap to try and improve by over 2 tenths. It's not impossible. It's definitely going to be difficult. Let's see if we can find... Oh god, Phoenix. Definitely losing the rear through that corner. And won't improve on his 20.2. For the back, Ocon riding that sausage curb. Not what you want to see. Skin Tony going very wide. He was improving by 6/10. He's not going to improve by 6/10 anymore as he comes across the start finish straight. I'm pretty sure an AI car is taking over now. Could be a potential retirement, don't know. R10 though is on a hot out lap. Fox Collini is on a lap. He hasn't seen a lap, so we'll see what he can do. Right across the first sector, obviously there's no difference because he didn't set one before. So, ooh, a bit deep, very deep there. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Ideally, you want to be setting a 47-48 second sector split. Anything over really isn't that good. 49.5, it is still pretty decent, but definitely 48 is where you want to be. Across the second sector DRS zone, final DRS zone, as Ocon retires from the session. I believe he's actually crashed. Yeah, he's crashed into the pit lane, so I believe either he's lost it and died in the pits, but we will see as Collini rounds up the final corner. Ocon's car has disappeared. There's no carbon fibers, so it's all been cleared up. Collini now coming across the line. Looks like it's going to be a early 22. It's a 22.2 and goes P16 at that time. But now we'll have to see if we can find anyone up front. As Latazzi is on outlap, but we did see Jurassic here. Started up 20.6, definitely all to play for. Very stiff and smooth at the same time. Turn 1 didn't turn steering wheel that much, but enough to make the corner. Going through here, very deep, yeah, inside lockup. You definitely know that that's a sign. Not too shabby through there. Let's see if he pins. It's a very awkward corner there because sometimes you can go flat perfectly, but sometimes the car just steps out. He's 2/10 up on his time, meaning that he will jump up to P8. Just behind Phoenix, who hasn't improved on his 20.2, as we saw him spinning to the second sector technical corner bit, just like we did Skin Tony. He lost a lot of time there. He lost roughly all of his time. Oh god, went wide, and that's going to be his lap invalidated. So he's going to have to come back in the pits for a fresh set. I believe now we're just waiting for everyone, or everyone's waiting to finish their times, as R10 shoots up to P11 exactly. So if he can finish P11, he'll be in a happy spot. Highest point you can get on fresh tires. Rorzy now about to set a lap, but I believe Fox, his teammate, first is going to finish his lap, so we'll stay on board with Fox, and we'll switch over to Rorzy in the second Red Bull. As Fox rounds up the final corner now, goes a bit deep, so that's going to cost him a bit of time. It looks like it's going to be a solid lap. It's going to be an early 20. He comes across line at 20.5, so puts him P9. For now, Rorzy, his teammate, though, let's see what he can do. He's down on his time by 9,000ths of a second. A bit slow through there, but I'm sure he can make up the time as people are starting to come out the pits now. I believe we'll start roughly in 10-20 seconds more, because on the top left that is delayed, not by much, but enough to suggest the end of the session. He has 3 100ths up on his time. Seems to be a... Oh, he had to adjust his steering through there because he was actually going to munch that corner, had he not. So coming across the final corner now. Final sector now, I should say. He is very much smooth on the application. Braked a little early there, but I'm sure he'll be able to make up time through this final corner. His previous time was a 22.0. Let's see if he can improve from a 22.0, and he does improve by just over a 10th and a half. Not enough to gain him any positions, though. I believe that will be his qualifying over, unless he's going for a straight second one, which it looks like he is. But a few people coming out now. The first person to come out will be Panikoi. Panikoi, who is very much lucky that he knew that Fox wasn't going to set a new lap. Maple out first. Dropey isn't out yet, and Sinex very much on the inside there. As Panikoi goes to turn 1, loses the back end. That's going to cost him a lot of time. However, we'll have to see if that costs him if he can gain. No, he backs out. Presume he's going to go on a cooldown lap for one more lap. As the order right now, it is Maple coming out first. It's actually going to be Broco, then Maple, then Dropey, and then Lutazi. If Lutazi is ever going to come out, which it doesn't seem like he will, because I'd say maximum the time on the top left is delayed by 30 seconds. I'd say it's probably too late to come out now. Phoenix is coming up, it's now though, so probably am wrong with my predicament, but it's going to be Broco, Maple, then Dropey. In that order for now. Lutazi hasn't come out yet, so I'll say that he is not completing a lap, but Broco really only needs to improve by 2/10, and with that is not going to help him improve. When he comes across the final corner now, it's starts lap, and yeah, Lutazi has retired from the session, so he is not going to set a lap. So really now he hopes that the two people behind him don't improve by 0.04 of a second, because otherwise he's losing his P2 spot, front row spot. But with the track being as good as it is now, it is very unlikely that they won't improve unless they evaluate. Broco with a nice second sector, third P3, oh god, turn 3, my brain is mush, sorry. A nice turn 3, as Tropey comes across the line to start his banker lap as well, or his final time as well. Broco not improving on his first sector. Maple I didn't catch. As DS does, I believe, is crashed in turn 1. So is Panicoid, two McLarens. Both crashed, and it looks like Broco isn't going to improve on his time as he's lost the rear end. So now it's all eyes on Maple to see if he can reclaim top spots on pole. And I did see Panicoid there was actually quite significantly in the middle of the track there, and Tropey was just about crossing him. So had that cost time, I don't know. I didn't catch Maple's time, whether or not he was improving, but I will check the stream real quick, see if he is improving, because with the delay I'm able to see he is he's up by 2/10. He's up by 2/10, so Maple right now is currently in a net pole position. Good final corner, but now he comes across the line. Will he be on pole position? And he does with a 0.3. That is a mega lap, a 19.3, and Dropey is only improving by 0.02 of a second. So this means that Maple right now will be starting ahead of his rival and his teammates in order to win the championship. This is not at all what Dropey needs or wants, but he comes across the final corner now. Will he be able to finish? Will he be able to reclaim his top step that he's had basically for the entirety of qualifying? Had it not been up to now, Tropey comes across the line, and he doesn't. He only improves by 0.05 of a second, so Maple is our pole sitter for today's race, unless if Phoenix has anything to say about it, because don't count him out. Phoenix is a very quick driver. It could have been just a bad lap before, but Phoenix can definitely has the ability to shoot himself up in the top 3, heck even in pole position, as he comes across the final corner now. It looks like it's going to be a very good lap. It looks like it's P2, so he splits the 2 racing points, which is very ideal for Maple, because right now he is in a great position to win this championship, and heck, maybe even win it in style in P1. So that is your grid, the very much familiar top 3, Maple, Phoenix, and Dropey will start off today's race. Lutazi not able to come out in P4, Broco in P5, DS Panicoid P6, P7, Skintoni P8, Jurassic P9, Darius P10, Hazy Best of the Rest, Fox P12, R10 P13, Cinex P14, Ocon P15, Rorzy P16, Kalini P17, and to round off the grid, the hash driver of Poofy Waffles. So it's gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Phoenix will be able to hold up Dropey, or heck even gets Maple off the line, and heck even Maple dies turn 1. Hoping that's not happening for his sake, but you never know in racing, unfortunately. I believe there's 27 laps or so around this track, so it's definitely all to play for. Right, it is raining. Okay, it is absolutely pouring. So that changes a lot of things. Now, will some of the drivers be able to cope in the wets? And it looks like it's full wet conditions. By looks of things, it might be intermediates, but by visually it looks like it's absolutely blibbin' pouring. Now, I don't know if it's going to be wet for the entirety of the race. That will have to be seen. I bet my money is on we're on full wets. Yeah, we are definitely on full wets. Don't know if the temperature, if the thing will change. It looks like clouds in the back are already starting to clear, so you might only see this for a few laps. Everyone's on the wets, as you might have already imagined. Looks like, yeah, the clouds in the back do already seem to be quite brighten up, so we might see a switch to intermediates. Like we might even see a switch to dries. So we have an interesting finale here, a first ever for me, having finale in Australia. Actually, it's the first one, as people are going side by side in the back. It could be maybe someone in, as Latazzi is absolutely fighting Phoenix in his formation lap, it seems. Poopy Waffles keeps leaving and rejoining the session. I don't know why. But yeah, as things stand, Maple is going to be your SOR champion. And last week I did kind of praise him towards the end of the race because I completely forgot one thing. Yes, he did outscore Phoenix by the recommended amount of points. However, I forgot that one tiny little detail that definitely I did not remember, is that if Dropey outscores him in any way, shape, or form, Maple is not winning the championship. And little did I know, Dropey won the Blibbin race. So yeah, that didn't happen. So all my praises now will sound forced, but trust me, they will not sound forced. They will be legitimate. Well, they won't be forced. They will be legitimate. I'll try and make them as legitimate as possible, rather than me just reading off my notepad I have of my compliments. Wait, I said that? No, okay. No, I don't have a notepad, I promise. Anyways, as AI controls the drivers, Maple very much licking the step at sending it. Very much wanting to get back on the grid, get nice and soaking wet, so like that when he starts, he has good visibility, and he can wipe his visor as many times as he wants beforehand. Right now, off the line, the best strategy would be keep it in lean, keep it in normal ERS mode. Don't want to be going to rich and overtake like you would on dries, because you will absolutely get wheel spin McGee off the launch. Right now, it is interesting because with wets, people will be going slower to turn 1, so it'll be the perfect opportunity for Phoenix to go dive in turn 1 without losing too much time, and people getting better runs on the back because it's all wet. So it will be harder, but right, as we have the final race of this season's championship decider, as lights go out, it's lights out, and away we go, and it looks like it's a decent start from Maple, who gets in front very well of everyone else. Looks like Dropey's actually fighting Maple into turn 1, and Phoenix is going down the inside, but it looks like he's outbraked himself. Actually, no, he hasn't. He's kept it quite perfectly. But now we have to hope that, oh god, there's a lot of spins. It was a person who started P3 who was already who spun, and looks like, look at this, Latazzi trying to go around the outside of Dropey, gets a little bit of wheel tapping as Maple absolutely sideways through that corner, keeps it in though. 5th place corner cutting penalty, as going further back down grid, side by side through his corner, bangs against the wall. That's going to be definitely some front wing damage, as Poofy Waffle starting last is already all the way up into P7 after getting a nice jump start though by the game. Oh, and very much contact Cynics and Latazzi, as Ocon now is going to perhaps get the better run. No, he doesn't, so we'll move back up front to see if anyone else. 2 racing points, though, are starting to battle. As an AI car, we have to keep in mind Poofy Waffle, so if he gets overtaken, let's not go to him. Yeah, I don't remember Maple personally being overly quick on the wets, from what I remember at least. We have had a couple of wet races this season, however, I don't remember many of him being particularly strong. I believe Phoenix is absolutely rapid in the wets, especially in Britain, where he won by over 30 seconds, and right now he's already almost 2 seconds clear of anyone else. So Phoenix definitely showing his side, and Maple losing it every single corner. But it looks like even if Maple loses the position to his teammates, he will be in a position still to win the championship because he needs to fall back all the way to P5. Actually, no, if Trophy finishes P2 without the fastest lap, Maple needs to finish P8. So, you know, by the looks of things, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. But, you know, it takes one big spin and you're at the back. But a lot of people are in the pits, the bottom 4 on the pits. As Darius and Latuzzi getting side by side. And I believe Latuzzi hasn't actually pulled into the pits to change his front wing. Everyone's slow, to be fair, so, you know, there's no reason to not to, as Darius goes extremely wide, so does Latuzzi. As some side-by-side action here, Cynics and Ocon absolutely getting added into the second sector. See, he's trying to get the better run on Cynics. Doesn't work, though, for now. As we move back down the grid, two people getting very close is Karasik and Rosie. Karasik not getting the best of starts himself, as Rosie very much struggling through this flat right-hander. Breaks very early, and Karasik doesn't see that coming and absolutely sends it into the grass. So that will be that move done and dusted for a long time. Latuzzi, even with wing damage, is managing to stick with the people in front. Not through the corners, though, as it seems, for obvious reasons, especially in the wets. Right now, Dropey doesn't seem to be catching up too much to Maple, and Maple doesn't seem to be catching up to Phoenix. So by the looks of things, this is how it's going to stay at the front for a little while. We'll move further back grid. Try and see if we can spot anyone doing some action. Already Australia isn't an easy place to overtake, so now adding wet into the equation will definitely make this very much more difficult for the drivers. So we have to hope for their sake that they can pull off some good moves and entertain us. It's like a very stiff rear end through that corner. Not so much from there as I saw him goes back in, as Kalini has absolutely died through there, so that could be a potential safety car, or even a VSC at the least. As he's stranded in the middle of the track through there, but it doesn't look like the game's going to give a VSC or a safety car. But what we will get, though, is Hazy and Skin Tony possibly battling very soon. As Nerd yellow flags. Oh, Phoenix is spun! Phoenix has bottled it, or he's done something, and that's a lot of front wing that just flew across the track. I did not catch that, but I just saw him going slowly. Is that front wing damage? Is there any front wing damage? He does. His left end plate is completely gone, so that's going to allow Maple now to try and sneak one round the outside, and he does, but it looks like Phoenix is fighting this even with his front wing damage. Maple better start fighting this now, because he won't. Phoenix trying, or Dropey getting the move done on Phoenix so like that he doesn't lose much time to him as well. DS trying to do the same thing, but Maple now might be looking to win a championship in P1. Phoenix now with his destroy left end plate is going to want to pull it into the bits because he's absolutely slow on this set. He will box, and that will promote Maple to P1 and 1.1-ish seconds in front, as Phoenix gets a 5-second time penalty for being in the pit lane, so that's even more insult to injury as comes to the pits. But Maple now leads the race and is on course to win his first ever championship here in SOR, and I believe his first ever championship period. So we get side by side Skin Tony and Ocon getting quite feisty here through turns 2 and 3 down the back straight. Here we go. More side by side Ferrari and Mercedes battling out as he completely loses the back end and swoops him. And look at that! Look, who's this? Hazy getting very much into it as well, as they're going to run side by side, and Ocon is forced to back off, and that Hazy and Skin Tony deal with it. But that was a bit rough from Skin Tony there. Lost the back end, or something happened that made him force him to the right and kind of push Ocon or Skin Tony away. People finding it difficult to stay flat out through there. Best advice is just trying to keep the wheel or pad, whatever you use, in one position. I definitely know through keyboards it's impossible to go flat out through there. Fluid Bubbles, I believe, is still an AI car. Yeah, so he didn't manage to rejoin. So stay on board with Hazy, see if he can do anything. He is closing up on Skin Tony. Skin Tony seems to be struggling a bit on this wet track. Okay, oh god, he's tapped him. Skintoni has been spun around, or semicircle, and Okan is absolutely bashed into him. So Okan now with front wing damage, the victim from all of this. Hazy bashing into Skintoni, Skintoni spinning, and then Okan ramming into him. That's just a bad chain of reaction that didn't end well for Okan. Poor Okan, he was just a victim, as someone else is a victim, is Cinex, who loses the back end and absolutely plows into the wall. He rejoins safely though, and Hazy will be able to take advantage and promote himself into P7. So Cinex, who was looking quite aggressive, or not aggressive, who was looking quite good on the back of Latazi, is now not looking good on the back of Latazi. Hopefully he does not use the back end or do anything bad that will or hinder the drivers behind. Krasik now and Wurzy getting very much close to each other. Let's see, Wurzy now forced to slow down. Loses the back end a bit, and now will lick the staff and try and send it. Will he be able to do so, as Cinex is going very slowly with his front wing damage? Remember that. As he goes wide, lets the two people by. And adios, he says, as Skintoni in front. As actually, I guess you could say Carmen, as he lost the back end. And he's into, actually no, not Carmen, sorry, it was Hazy who punted him. It wasn't, yeah, nothing, I didn't say anything. But a better exit, looks like they both got similar exits. Krasik not able to take advantage of Wurzy going slow out of there. So he will now continue on, as he's now very close to the back, as DS goes into the pits. Don't know why exactly, but he goes onto the intermediates. Looks like a lot of people or a few people are coming into the pits, as who's this at the back? As Skintoni is also the back end, and is could see a position to Cinex. People are starting to come into the pits now for intermediates. Is it time to go on intermediates, it seems? Apparently so. As he is now very close. Krasik on the back of Wurzy, the Mercedes and Red Bull going side by side into turn 3, and it looks like before the corners even start, Krasik is up into P6. So good move from him. That battle is now complete. Move forward to Dropey, who is very much on the chase, and with that is not going to help at all. We will move back, try and see if we can find any. Oh god, Wurzy and DS going side by side. DS on the intermediate compound tires does seem to be flying through these corners, so yeah, the intermediates do definitely seem to be the best tire for now, as no one goes into the pit at the front. Right, as we move on to people here, DS and Krasik getting feisty. People on the wet seem to be losing quite a bit of time, so I wonder now if DS might not be able to jump Maple and Dropey, considering that they did not box during transition. DS very much on the back of Krasik. And it looks like he gets the better run. Will try and pull to the inside, however he can't do that. The outside looks clear, and lots of tapping, and looks like that might have pushed Krasik quite wide. DS is hoping to get the better launch. We'll have the benefit of the ERS, and Krasik very much forced to watch him overtake. As late brakes and rams into him. Is that front wing damage? I wonder. No, it isn't. It's probably going to be a nice shark bite though in his the wing. It looks like Maple hits for a set of intermediates compound of tires. I do think DS might be able to jump him. Not sure. DS rounding the final corner now. Rounding the couple final corners now. Doesn't get held up in the pits, Maple, so we'll have to see DS rounding the final corner now. Will he at least get the jump on his teammate, I wonder? Probably, as his teammate now is coming across the pit exit line. There is his teammate, and no, he won't be able to retain the position. However, he did close the gap to Maple quite a bit, and now Maple having to warm up his tires will definitely be in a much harder, more difficult position, as Phoenix now serves his 5 second for one, and then changes to intermediate. So I think Phoenix right now is out the run for the win, but it's never, it's not too late. It could be a late safety car, late drama, who knows. I believe as Litozzi repaired his front wing while in the pits. He didn't lose too much time in the end. Yeah, we will go up as a DS on the back of Maple did catch up, not by much though. We'll see what the gap is. It's 19, 20, we'll say 20 seconds. Yeah, from Maple to Dropey, so he will be able to jump him and create a gap. There was a, let's say, 2-second gap to him and his teammate. So we'll have to see what that gap is once he comes out the pits. As Dropey boxes now, Maple is looking to very much win this race, win this championship by winning the race, it seems. If he does that, that'll be the perfect way to win a championship. Getting a podium is decent, but winning the race while being the champion, there's two different things. One, you win the race, and two, you are the champion, as he sets the purple third sector. And Dropey gets jumped by not only Maple, but DS, and he has lost time to Maple. He was 2 seconds behind, now he's 3 seconds behind DS. So he's roughly 5 seconds, 4 seconds behind his teammates, and will be wanting to get a move on now and try and retain his P1, because right now if he gets P1 with the fast lap, Maple needs to be at least P4 in order to win the championship. So you know it's not over, but with just over 20 laps to go, it's not looking good for Dropey. But never say never. As look at Lewis Hamilton in 2008 in Brazil. Glock going slowly. Is that Glock? Poof is champion. He's champion of the world. Had Glock not have gone slowly, Massa would have won his deserved championship. They both deserved it, to be fair. Massa is arguably one of the best drivers out there to not have won a championship. There are definitely lots more to name. There are a lot of drivers on the current grid right now that are very good and haven't won a championship. For instance, well, they haven't retired, so I guess it doesn't count. But Bottas is one of them. Probably Max Verstappen, obviously, is probably one of the best ones. Leclerc, you know, Ricardo, you know, all talented drivers. As Maple says he passed up at 34.9. We're on board with Litozzi as he gets close to hazy. So, you know, never say never. But it looks like clouds are clearing out now. We might see a dry line soon. Will we see it become fully dry? I don't know. But speaking of close, Panicoy is very much close to Dropey. So Dropey now, Dropey's race might be going from bad to worse, as he's now getting pushed by Panicoy as Phoenix takes the fastest lap. Panicoy now, who's quite close to the back of Panicoy. Or Panicoy very close to the back of Panicoy very close to the back of Dropey. Panicoy does have his 3-second time penalty, so he needs to get in front of Dropey and gap him by 3 seconds. That is if Maple, or oh god, Dropey doesn't get a time penalty. But speaking of which, we will check the penalty situations. Maple only has the warning, DS has a penalty. Tropy has 0 warnings, and Penakoi has a penalty. So, yeah, Tropy isn't looking likely to get a penalty, as someone spun that is Karasik has lost it, and lost a bit of it in no front wing. I believe he's just lost it on the exit, and skidded his way into the grass. Fortunate stuff for him, he was in the points. Now he needs to fight back, as DS is managing to close up to Maple on a respectable pace. Maple very much, though, in control as things stand. But both McLarens putting pressure on both racing points. So we could have an interesting battle here for the 2 or 3 podium spots. They are all subject to change, obviously. I believe a little over 19 laps to go. Lot more to happen. We are not even halfway there, and already plenty of action, as you can tell by the amount of position changes we have on the grid. A lot of people changing. Only Tropy and Maple haven't changed their respective positions, and Ocon. Perry did spin back. Not Ocon. He did get he rammed into someone unintentionally, and was forced to drop back to P15. So wasn't his fault, but you know, Halsey getting a 3-6 tie penalty, but you know, it is what it is in racing. Unfortunately, you can't rewind time and prevent the crash. So I just live with it, accept it, and race on. As Maple managed to gap DS a bit, and Tropy didn't manage to gap Penakoi too much. Still within that 9/10 range. It really only takes one poor, a really bad mistake from Tropy in order for Penakoi to be on his rear end and close enough to suggest, I'm going to overtake you. Both McLarens now 1 second apart from their racing point, or from the racing point. We'll call it that. So all to play for this battle for. Oh, losing the Daikin there quite a bit. It's lap 13, and Penakoi is making steady progress. He has lost that progress in one corner, though. So we will go back to the move. Well, it wasn't a move, but there's someone close. It's Huzzy and Hazy now getting at it. Phoenix sitting fast laps after fast laps. So goes. Doubt he'll be able to catch up Maple, Tropy, DS, Penakoi, etc. on merit. But with the late safety car, might be able to overtake a few drivers, and heck, who knows, even win the race. Maple gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Let's check out, see what other people. DS is on 3 warnings but no penalty, and Tropy has a penalty. Wait, is that gonna load as I load out? Pretend gets a penalty. Tropy actually has the penalty sign on the left now, so he did pick up a penalty. Didn't notice it. DS is the only person without a penalty, so if he can stay clean, then he'll be in a good position to potentially win this race. However, Maple needs to gap DS by 3 seconds, which he seems to be doing now. It was only 1 second before, now it's 2.1. So all to play for now. People could say the earlier I get the 3 seconds, the more comfortable I could be in the later stages of the race. And heck, who knows, even gap them more by 3 seconds, even 10, let's say. It's not impossible. One-stop strategy now. Intermediates, I think intermediates should be able to go to the end from lap, what was it, lap 8, 7, something. Oh, it says 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, around lap 7, 8. I'm sure that they can make 20 laps. Especially when you're not really pushing them too hard. You can't really push wets too much. Unless if you get lots of rear end losses, etc. The only reason that you can lose it, as Skin Tony and Ocon getting feisty in the third sector. Skin Tony getting the move done. However, it is not over yet, as Ocon bashes into Skin Tony. Skin Tony has had his fair share of bashes and fair share of spins at that exact corner. So now Ocon has front wing damage and Skin Tony has warm rear tires. So he's not going to be happy as Ocon boxes to repair his front wing and he retires. So he punts Skin Tony and then retires. That is nice. Going for the back, let's see, Latazzi is out. Waffles in R10. Remember, Waffles is AI car. Latazzi is the closest person to anyone else in front of them on the track. Other than the Waffles, but he's just been overtaken. As Latazzi very much trying to get a move on Hazy, but Hazy seems to have that extra edge on it. Seems to have that extra bit of momentum out of corners. As Latazzi made some gains, now 4/10 behind Hazy. So he's looking to get in front this lap if possible. Brakes later as well. Gets a goodish exit to the point where he manages to gain almost a 10. So he is looking good. He's trying to get that move done as soon as he possibly can. Not forcing it though. Don't want to be forcing moves at this level. A bit wide there and wide there. That's going to undo all of his hard work that he just did beforehand. Cutting the corner there a bit. I presume might have given him a warning. I'm sure they must have given him a warning. He isn't making too many more gains. His DS still without that penalty, but now he is losing time. Starting to lose time, so we will move up. He is losing a lot of time, DS. And Dropey is catching up, and so is McAvoy, so they are all catching up now. Dropey lost a bit of time there through the final corner, and we will check on the driver at the back. Latazzi lost a bit of time, so now 1.1 seconds. Karasik getting a 3-second time penalty and loses time. So he's gonna make a pit stop, can for, I'd say, a fresh set of intermediates. We'll move back to this battle. Trophy and Latazi still getting at it. We'll still keep an eye on what these guys can do, because Maple is now 3 seconds ahead of DS. The recommended amount he's supposed to be in, considering he has the 3-second time penalty. So you know, it is what it is. And Trophy now very close to the back of DS, who's losing time hand over fist, or it might just be Maple making absolute gains. But DS without the penalty now is in the best position, because regardless, even if he gets overtaken by both Trophy and Bancoy, he needs to stick within 3 seconds of them, which sounds complicated, but if he has the pace to stick with Maple for a portion of a time, I'm sure he might be able to do it. But yeah, it looks like the clouds are clearing out, so we might see late drama with dry tires. I'd see, you know, mid-lap 20 dry tire change, which could change a lot of things. Maybe some drivers wanting staying out, but I'd say if it's on lap 25, then having to go 5 laps on on old intermediates versus people on fresh softs, I think we can all imagine what who the winner will be. Even if they are 20 seconds in front by the time you make the pit stop, they'll roughly be 20 seconds a lap faster, so really by the end of the lap you will be overtaken. So it's all or nothing here, but I don't think it's going to be dry, as a Ferrari has spun. I believe that is Skintoni in front. We'll see. He comes back on track. He does ghosted, but Maple didn't want to take any chances there. Will be ghosted since he's being lapped. We'll get out the way though, it seems, for staying in the middle of the track. With his front wing damage, he's going to be absolutely losing time. He cuts both corners and it might be another penalty, but it isn't. 4.1 seconds now is the gap to DS and Maple, so it looks like Maple is going to comfortably win the championship. I'm not jinxing it, but a lot of people are coming into the pits. We might see Maple, the race leader, box. Nope. Do keep in mind, a lot of people in pit box very early on, as DS boxes. DS blinks first out of these guys. Fox gets a 5 seconds out across the pit lane, exit white line. I haven't seen a penalty of that yet, but I'm pretty sure if you do it twice in a race, that's a penalty. Before do it once, but not twice. But, DS being the first to box, I believe he's not going to get jumped by many people. Actually, only get jumped by 2 people, so it's not too bad. He is on the fresh intermediate, so he will be able to catch up. Now, will we see Maple as Patacoy almost loses the back end and sends it into the wall. But we might be able to see Patacoy and Dropey boxing. We might also see Maple boxing and see Patacoy and Dropey stay out. But I know tire wear is very bad on the dries here. On the wets, it might be that just bit worse. So really only one way to find out, as Skintoni's absolutely losing. He went on the softs. Still pouring down rain, and Skintoni's opted to go onto the softs. So already your first signs that it's going to be dry is that rain has stopped falling. Here, rain is visibly not stopped falling. So that is your first mistake there, Mr. Skintoni. And the second mistake is that if Jeff doesn't tell you otherwise, you do not pit. But who knows? Gap was 4 seconds, now it's 3.4 as Maple opts to box. Will Patacoy follow him in? Yes, he does. So once again, Maple benefiting from being the lead driver. And will now... oh god. Fox has retired, but however, will he hold him up? Oh, he does his hands. Oh my god, he might. Oh no, he doesn't. Jeez, it's close. But yeah, Trophy or Maple definitely benefiting from being able to be the lead driver. As he's got the AlphaTauri coming up steaming behind. If he gets jumped by him, that could be over, as it doesn't look like he's going to get jumped. However, Hazy forced to lift as Maple perfectly positions his car. And he does chuck in the overtake mode, but it's not going to be enough as Maple covers it. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to lose any time. So right now it's just lick the stamp, and send it. But now DS nudging Hazy a bit out the way. Hazy is very much a roadblock as it gets punted again, as DS is really telling him, listen, I can break later, I can do this, I can do that on my fresher intermediates. Now get out the way. Maple already a second in front of these guys, so really DS, it's now or never to get in front. Doesn't look like he is going to get in front though here. So hopefully in the back straight he will, but now that means that pit stop time for Dropey. Doesn't seem like it was a good in-lap. But he stays out, so it looks like Dropey is taking the big risk and staying out until the end of the race. Heck, if he can protect his tires like they're his babies, then I'm sure he can stay out. However, 20 lap, basically the entire race on those intermediates seems a bit risky. Puncture territory is terrible on the dries, and the wets I couldn't imagine. Darius boxes. So really right now Maple is 18, 19 seconds behind his P1 that I'm sure he'd like to get, because everyone loves winning the championship while finishing in P1. As we have a safety car because Skin Tony has spun and lost it, meaning that Dropey being in front will benefit from not only a free pit stop, but will more than likely keep track position as well, because everyone's forced to stay put. So Dropey very lucky there on the restart. However, if Maple is quicker, which is a big possibility, at the restart, we might be able to jump him, but really it's all to play for now, and Maple needs to hope that he doesn't, that Dropey doesn't jump him, but it looks like Dropey would jump him, because it's already, what, a 20-second pit stop? With safety car, it's probably only going to be 15 seconds. So, it looks like it's going to be all done and dusted. His hopes, Maple, to stick in P1. The safety car came out at a perfectly timed moment. Dropey now would be dumb not to box. Get fresh tires, and he does box. Now, will he jump him? Because I believe catch safety car Q, that notification, the top will come once he crosses the final corner. I don't know if he'll be able to jump him. He might be able to jump him, as Dropey has done his pit stop now. He is coming out the pits now. It's going to be close, as now he has a straight. Dropey is coming and he's out. There is Dropey right in front of him. So Dropey has jumped Maple, and will be the lead car during this restart. So now we have to wait until everyone to catch up. So it won't be this lap. We'll be racing, I'd probably say, lap 24 onwards. So that will mean that we will have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lap sprint race until the end of the Grand Prix. So this championship isn't over yet. Who knows? Phoenix might, but with 3 seconds up, but it's not going to help. But might be able to overtake a few people, get in front. Right, yeah, I don't think we'll even be going next lap. Probably even be going a lap after that. So we might have a 5-lap sprint race, lap 25 onwards. So really, it'll be like an online race. But yeah, it's gonna be tight, because that was the third sector split. That's when safety car announces that he's gonna be in this lap. But who knows, they still have to catch up. They still have to around the entire circuit. I don't think it'll be doable, especially since Blue Waffles, I believe, is an AI car. So I doubt he'll be able to overtake or get in front. Skin Tony DNFing there, staying a lap on those softs, was just asking to die. Why it went on the softs in the first place, but I presume his race was already ruined after getting hit twice in the rear end. That didn't really help his motivation either, and he was just trying, right, you know, screw it, might as well give it a shot. Didn't work, spun, died, learned from his mistakes. Now on to the next race, I guess. But this being the final race, there won't be any next races until announced, which probably won't be for another month or so. Might not even be until a new game. Who knows? Actually, no, will be before a new game. Right, so yeah, safety car won't be in this lap already. I'm not sure if the train of Karasik there at the back will be able to catch up by the time they make it to the third sector. So I'd say we'll probably be in next lap. Lap 25 onwards. Give him 5 laps, Maple, to overtake his teammate to try and win the race and crucially win the championship on merit. Trophy will obviously want to win the race. He knows that his chances right now at the championship aren't that great. So, you know, anything to boost his morale would help. However, I would think that winning the race, even though you won the race, I don't think he'll be happy because, you know, the championship was there. Got his hopes up, going down, making this very depressing, but it's not too depressing. Alright, yeah, we won't be in this lap. The train of Kresik haven't even caught up yet. We'll be in next lap, I'd say, hopefully. It really depends if Proof Waffles can catch up. Proof Waffles in 12th, you know. 2 more people DNF in front, you will benefit from points while not even driving, so, you know. It's a win-to-win at the end of the day. The train to Kresik have caught up. It doesn't look like safety car is going to be in this lap though, so yeah, we will go one more lap. And this man, Maple, can already feel the championship. He probably has one hand on the championship now. Just a matter of keeping it clean. And also remember that DS doesn't have that penalty. Maple has 1. DS, though, is 1 warning away from not getting a penalty. How does he not have a penalty with 3 warnings? I don't know, but he's 1 warning away, let's say, from getting a penalty. Let's see, penalties 3-3. Yeah, everyone has 3 seconds except for Phoenix. Phoenix has 3. Tuzzy has 9, so yeah, that basically sums up the race. As Pooh Waffles is just about to catch up, so I'd say we will go racing at the end of this lap. So now it's 50 degrees our entire temps of Maple, so he's definitely going to want to heat those up because they are a pain to warm up, especially in the race, especially when you brake as well. You do a lot of fizzing. As Trophy's tires are quite warm, well, 70 degrees, they're quite cold, but for wets, those are the ideal tire temperature. Spoofy Waffles has caught up to the field, as you can see on the minimap. So we will go racing at the end of this lap. And it looks like it's actually stopped raining. My prediction there from lap 25 onwards, you know, it stopped raining and we might see some late drama. Who knows? Because right now they're not spraying any water. We might see a late switch to dry tires. And if the safety car is in this lap, like look, the track is starting to dry at the bottom. So with Dropey being the lead car, you know, he'll obviously benefit from being able to box first, and Maple will be forced to stay out until the end of the race. So this could really change a lot of things, but there's no water being spewed out the back of the tires, and that usually is a sign of put on the dries. I believe Tropey hasn't gone, but he's signaling that I'm ready to go at any moment in time, as Maple's tires aren't exactly the warmest, so he's really risking it now. And it looks like it's dry conditions soon. That dry line is there. However, the dry edges aren't. I don't know English. Tropy is gone. Tropy has gone. And so is Maple behind him. And now we have a 5-lap sprint race until the end of the race. Will we see a switch to Dries? That is the question. Going further back down the grid, let's see, is anyone feisty looking open for a move? Phoenix is looking to tab Darius into turn 1 as R10 and Worzy getting side by side here. As R10 goes a bit wide, this is the back end, but it doesn't look like it's going to be dry tires. I think it's probably going to stay dry as Phoenix goes dive bomb into Darius. Darius gives just enough space, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make that move stick as he gets the switch back though out the corner, and they're going to run side by side through his tight corner. It never really works. He gives him plenty of space though, Phoenix, and on the exit with the overtake mode he'll be able to get the move done. Great move as Lasazzi, I saw in the mirrors, almost smashes into him. And now Maple, 1.3 seconds behind his teammate, didn't do a good job of warming up his tires at the restart it seems, and he's already lost time to the back of his teammate. Now he's got to catch up and hope that DS gets a penalty, because you know, DS getting a penalty is really the only shot Maple has as keeping his P2, because right now he will be tight, because remember, if Tropy gets the fastest lap and Maple finishes 4th, 5th actually, well, you know, Tropy wins the championship, but looks like it's going to be Maple. He's going to be winning the championship on merit. No penalties, no nothing. However, he has he's a second in front of a DS. He only has 2 more seconds to go in order to solidify his P2 position, which would be nice. A 1-2 for racing points, however, not the order that probably Tropy would have wanted. And the championship standings, that is. But right now there's a straight chase. Maple doesn't look like he's able to catch up, but it looks like the dry track is present. I don't see any signs of wetness, so heck, who knows, we might see a trophy box for Dries and Maple being forced to stay out. So next lap it's going to be lap 27, so 1, 2, 3 laps really on inters compared to, it's doable. It's going to be risky, but it's doable. I do know this, intermediates are better on dry surfaces than dries are on wet surfaces, because, you know, intermediates are just that an edge. But it looks like Maple's losing time to his teammate, and crucially losing time to the person behind, so he's in a net P3 right now, as Maple, regardless, is improving his best time by 3/10, as DS gets the penalty that Maple wanted. So Maple will be finishing P2 now, and DS needs to get in front of Maple in order to win. He would have won the race had he not got the penalty, because he's sticking with Maple and Maple's sticking with Tropy, so that really hinders his chances now. If we see DRS is enabled at the bottom when they cross the line, then that means that dry tires is obviously the best tire to go on. I don't think we'll see anyone box. However, I don't think it's a smart decision to do so, considering we're on lap 27. Someone has boxed. DS has boxed. As fastest lap goes to Tropy, people are boxing. 3 people have boxed. What I presume would be for the dry tire. Yeah, DS is on the dries. So, you know, if we do happen to see DRS is enabled, well, we now know why. People are boxing for softs. And if Tropy boxes for softs this lap, though, I think it will be, yeah, no, it will be two, because Maple has to stay out right now. He cannot risk it, because he will drop back all the way down to roughly a P8, and Tropy will stay in P1. So even if, yeah, he needs to stay out, Maple needs to stay out, regardless of whatever Tropy does. But it looks like it's dry conditions. Yeah, look at that on the bottom. DS absolutely mad catching Poopy Waffles. Keep in mind, Poopy Waffles is an AI car, so that number can't really take it with a pinch of salt. But Maple's still improving his time by 1/10.5, meaning that he has pace, and he might have pace, who knows, to do a last lap overtake on his teammate. Coming across, DRS is enabled, so that means that the dry tires are the quickest tires on track now. Will Tropy box? No, I think the smartest decision for both drivers, for all drivers, or for these 2 drivers specifically, will just be to stay out, because Phoenix is catching up to these guys as well. So really can't afford a mistake. Really right now, Maple was just hoping that you know, something happens, that Trophy does a mistake, or that he gets an absolute launch. Right now, the intermediates will be a hard tire to drive on. That doesn't mean that Maple might not be able to make a move, stick through here. Yeah, definitely not flat through there anymore. On the dries maybe, but not there. But he 2/10 down his time. That's not too bad. Not too good either though. He's not. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch up to his teammate. However, it does look like he will be able to get his long-awaited championship. As BS gets moved on. He was in P2, P3. Now he's in P8. I don't think really doing that stop was worth it. No one in front has done the same. Doesn't look like anyone will. Trophy coming across the final corners in the third sector. We'll have to see. Will he box for softs? Doesn't look like it. Looks like even intermediates on the dry surfaces aren't too bad. Although you lock up every single corner, you still do pretty decently, as no one behind boxes. So right now, final lap. One more lap, Maple, and then you've won the championship. Du bist Weltmeister. But right now, it's looking pretty good for Maple. Let's just hope that Pankoi doesn't dive bomb Maple, because that will be the thing that he will not want. He will want to stay in P2. He will want to stay in a good position, not get crashed out. That is the worst thing that could possibly happen. But Maple now looking good for his championship. He's fought it this whole season, getting a few podiums. I remember when he got his first podium that I've ever seen, back when I first started commentating, and you know, first season I started commentating, he was very much a midfield runner, then a front midfield runner. Last season he was up there getting a few podiums. He was the top midfield runner, and this season he is your front runner, and he will be your world champion in a few corners time. Maple being the person that gave me this position as a commentator. Been here for 3 seasons, still 3 seasons strong. Seen a lot of things, but said a lot of things as well, like SOR overtaking SOR, etc. But Maple looks like he will be able to stick it and get that long-awaited championship. As I said, he's been patient this whole season. He's been doing absolutely fantastic just to get himself up into the winning positions. Now he has one more corner to negotiate, and Maple comes across the corner now to take his first ever championship in his career. Maple, du bist Weltmeister. Maple winning the championship. Maple is our SOR championship champion of the world with Racing Point. Also getting the 1-2 finish. Oh, look at that, side by side. Even though Trophy didn't win the championship, he is still willing to get the pink arrows. A nice side-by-side drive through the entirety of the track. So it was a great race for everyone. Maple definitely leading the race for a majority of it. However, with that safety car, Trophy didn't get the lead back. But Maple, world champion, thoroughly deserved. Start of the season, looks like Phoenix was going to take an easy breeze, winning the first 4 races. And Maple said, no, 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 I want to have some of that. And has taken the championship away from him at the final few races. But that's been it. That's been the race. That's been the championship. That's been the season of SOR Season 12 here in F1 2020. As he is happy getting P2. Getting P2 to win the championship. Getting a podium to win the championship is always nice. Trophy winning it though, however, he wins the race. He'll be happy, as I believe the 3 avatars are the exact same on the podium. That's been a first. Spraying champagne. Last time we'll see champagne, because I do remember it's sparkling wine. Yeah, sparkling wine will be the next thing in F1 rather than champagne. So that's been your season. That's been your grid. That's been your race. Trophy winning the race, Maple world champion, I should say, getting P2, Penkoi finishing off the podium positions, Phoenix P4 after a nice recovery drive from his earlier spin. Darius P5, Karasik P6, DS P7 after a late pit stop that didn't work, unfortunately. R10, Brokail, and the Tuzzy rounding up the points finish. Puy was best of rest, even being an AI car. Great stuff from him. And then Rorzy finishing dead last, with Hazy, Skintoni, Fox, Ocon, Cynics, and Kalini DNFing. So that's been your championship. I've been your host, Justin, for every single race this season, almost. And I will see you guys next season, where we'll have new championship, new fun, new drivers, new teams. We'll see you around.